She's checked her phone 6 times in the last 15 minutes. Still nothing. No reply. 3 hours ago, you sent a message. Last week, she was lukewarm. Now you're all she thinks about. Not because you're a unicorn, not because you're some rare breed, but because you did what most men can't. You stopped chasing, you pulled back, you became a question mark. Now she's the one losing sleep. You think women want attention. You think they want constant texts, instant replies, endless validation. But here's the truth. Give her all that, and watch her interest die. Fast. You go from maybe to meh, from mystery to doormat, from prize to participation trophy. Here's the part that drives men nuts, and women won't say out loud. Attraction isn't about being available. It's about being uncertain. It's about not knowing if she's got you, not knowing where she stands, not knowing if you're thinking about her while she's thinking about you. That gap between wanting and having, that's where the magic happens. Most men kill it. You text back in seconds. You drop everything when she calls. You explain yourself when she pulls away. You chase when she creates distance. Every time you do, you're writing your own rejection letter. The man who's always available, he's not valuable. The man who drops everything, he's not worth dropping anything for. The man who can be had at any time, he's not worth having. Women are wired for the hunt. They just hunt differently. Men chase directly. Women chase through resistance. They test. They pull back to see if you'll lean in. They cancel plans to see if you'll beg. Most men fail these tests. They jump through hoops. They lean so far forward, they fall on their faces. They beg for scraps. But the men who pass, the ones who don't chase when she pulls back, the ones who don't explain, don't crumble, don't beg, those men become puzzles, challenges, mountains to climb. And that need to win what isn't easily won, that's more powerful than any bouquet, any compliment, any good morning text. This isn't about playing games. It's about having a life that matters. It's about being so centered that her drama doesn't shake you. It's about being so complete that her approval doesn't define you. When you live this way, not as a tactic, but as truth, you become the challenge every woman is wired to want. Think about what challenge means to her. A man with options, a man with standards, a man with boundaries. He's not glued to his phone. He's not rearranging his life for a maybe. He's not treating her like she's the only woman on earth before she's earned it. That selectivity, that willingness to walk away, that's what makes her want to be chosen. She cancels your Friday night date on Thursday. Some excuse, doesn't matter. What matters is what you do next. Most men panic. They text, "When are you free?" They call. They try to reschedule. Every attempt screams desperation. Neediness leaks out. Through your response time, through your message length, through your tone, through your inability to give space. When you chase after a cancellation, you're telling her you have nothing else going on. When you check in, you're telling her you're already hooked. When you overreact, you're telling her you can't handle rejection. The needy man needs reassurance, needs to know where he stands, needs to define things, needs to rush to clarity. But ambiguity is where attraction grows. Uncertainty is where desire lives. Not knowing is what keeps her up at night. The moment you need to know, the moment you demand certainty, you've lost. You're not the prize. You're the contestant. Watch how neediness shows up. You double text. You stalk her social media. You ask friends for advice. You overanalyze. You treat every interaction like it's life or death. You chase clarity like it's oxygen. But clarity kills attraction. The more you need to know, the less she needs you. Trying to rush intimacy is just neediness in disguise. You want the talk after 3 dates. You want exclusivity before you know her last name. You want guarantees before you've shown value. You're not choosing her. You're just scared someone else will. That fear, that desperation, it seeps into everything you do. Predictability is the death of attraction. When she knows exactly when you'll text, exactly what you'll say, exactly how you'll react, you become background noise, reliable, boring, replaceable. Mystery isn't about lying. It's about being selective. She doesn't need to know you've been thinking about her all day. She doesn't need to know you cleared your schedule. She doesn't need to know you turned down other plans. The moment she knows she has you, she stops wanting you. Delayed responses create space. When you don't text back right away, her mind starts spinning. What's he doing? Who's he with? Why isn't he as eager as the others? That gap, that's where attraction multiplies. Not because you're playing games, because you have a life. Sometimes you're available, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you initiate, sometimes you don't. Not to manipulate, just because you're busy. The man who's too easy to read is too easy to leave. When she knows she can have you anytime, the urgency dies. When she knows you'll always be there, the fear of loss disappears. When she knows exactly where she stands, the excitement is gone. Mystery creates the roller coaster. The highs, the lows, the uncertainty. That's what keeps her invested. Dating multiple women. It's not about being a player. It's about not being desperate. When she's your only option, every move feels like life or death. But when you have options, you're not pretending you don't care. You actually don't care as much. Your attention is divided. Your confidence is real. Women can sense the difference. The man with options doesn't panic. He doesn't chase. He doesn't crumble. If she walks, others won't. If she rejects him, others won't. That changes everything. Women want men other women want. It's hardwired. The man with options must have value. The man who isn't desperate must have a reason not to be. Your phone isn't your friend in early dating. It's a tool. Use it to set dates, not have them. Long text convos kill mystery. Oversharing kills anticipation. The man who reveals everything through messages. He's a book she's already read. When she cancels, silence is your friend. Don't ask why. Don't reschedule. Don't check in. Your silence says you have a life. Your silence says you're not waiting around. Your silence is louder than any words. Your responses? Confident, direct, playful, not defensive, not apologetic, not passive-aggressive. When you respond from abundance, even rejection is irrelevant. No problem. Hit me up when you're free. That's power. The man who overcommunicates is compensating, usually for fear. The man who says less means more. The man who isn't always available becomes more valuable. Women don't want to be chased. They want to be chosen. There's a difference. Chasing is desperation. Choosing is selection. One is pressure. The other is a prize. The love story isn't he was obsessed from day one. It's he had options, but chose me. That's the story she wants to tell. Being busy isn't a game, it's reality. When she asks to see you and you're genuinely unavailable, she realizes you're not waiting around. She understands your time is valuable. She recognizes she has to compete. Competition creates value. Your schedule should be a fortress, not an open field. When you're too accessible, you're a convenience, not a choice. Boundaries aren't walls, they're filters. The more she works for your presence, the more she values it. The easier you are to access, the less you're worth. The man with boundaries doesn't cancel plans for a maybe. He doesn't skip the gym for a text. He doesn't abandon his goals for a date. His life continues, with or without her. Staying centered when she creates chaos, that's the ultimate attraction trigger. Women test emotional stability by creating instability. They want to see if you'll get swept away. Most men do. When you don't chase, you show mastery. When you stay calm, you show strength. When you keep your boundaries, you prove value. Confidence isn't loud. It's quiet certainty. It's being okay with discomfort. It's accepting rejection. It's maintaining your frame. Here's the paradox. The less you care, the more she does. Not pretending. Actually caring less because your life is full. This isn't about being cold. It's about being complete. The more available you are, the less she wants you. The more you chase, the faster she runs. Need isn't attractive. Choice is. Women aren't addicted to men who need them. They're addicted to men who don't. Men who want them, but don't need them. The challenge isn't about making her chase. It's about being worth chasing. Build a life that matters. Become so centered that her presence is a bonus, not a requirement. Stop trying to be challenging. Start being valuable. Stop pretending you have options. Start creating them. Stop performing confidence. Start building it. Women can smell the difference. They're only addicted to the real thing. If this hit home, share it. Like it. Subscribe for more unfiltered truth, because someone needs to say what everyone sees, but nobody admits. The game is real. The patterns are predictable. Learn them or get left behind.